Yo, shout out to everybody here in the building. We are going to skip the intro tonight. You already know what it is, man. Hey, look, we got an occasion today. You know what I
That's right.
mean? Me and my bro, we haven't talked online. It feels like forever, but we usually do this on a daily basis. You know what I'm talking about? But shout out to everybody here rocking, man. Make sure you wipe them feet, hit them thumbs up. If you are not subscribed to the channel yet, hit that subscribe button, whether you are watching on Wasted Talents, Raider Nation Unlimited, or the Oakland Las Vegas Raiders Network. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and wipe them feet and pay your bar tab, meaning hit them thumbs up. What's good with Big Bro, man?
Man, I am feeling splendiferous until I saw this Bussin with the Boys thing, man. I mean, I don't really know how to feel about it, man. You know what I mean?
I do, and I'm gonna have fun with it. But I want to hear what you got.
Yeah, see, this is the thing, man. I'm glad that they moved on because they had to, because being in mediocrity is hell.
Yeah.
But it kind of feels to me that plan 1A, 1B, and 1C was to get Tom Brady. And now that he retired, I feel like they're kind of rudderless, because if you're waiting on Aaron Rodgers, you don't know that Aaron Rodgers is going to not come out of that darkness retreat and say, you know what? I want to stay with the Green Bay Packers. I'm going to restructure my deal to make it easy for them to keep me on the roster. I want to retire as a Packer. Or he could say, you know what? Wherever you trade me, you trade me. Just get me out of here. But the only thing that's advantageous to us is that he says, I definitely want to come to the Raiders. And we don't know he's going to do that.
Well, I do think Tom Brady was option A. When he retired, I think that kind of threw a wrench into what we were doing. I mean, I seen Darren Waller come out and basically say, he's heard from numerous people that was the guy. And I've heard that from other people as well. So we weren't all the way left when we were talking about Tom Brady being a Raider. It was an actual, it was there. You know what I'm saying? But I have to say this. First of all, shout out to Dave Ziegler, man. For those who don't know, he was on Bussin with the Boys with Will Compton and Taylor Lewan. Is that how you say his name? Lewan.
Lewan, yeah.
And basically talked about the quarterback position. I'm going to read this little insert, you guys, real fast. So just to fill those in who haven't got a chance to see it or whatnot. We are in charge of filling the most important position on the team. Ziegler said per NFL.com, Bussin with the Boys. There's some pressure that comes along with that. And however we feel it, it doesn't mean we are going to have an immediate answer this year. This is what everyone is mad about online. We may not have an immediate answer this year, but at the end of the day, we have to have an answer in some form or fashion. There's pressure that comes along with it, but that's also part of the excitement as well. This is Ziegler pretty much stating, the quarterback status on Bussin with the Boys. Now I have to say this. We missed out on Tom Brady. Cool. Aaron Rodgers is definitely an option. I think, first of all, Ziegler's, take it with a grain of salt, man. He's not going to give up anything on a podcast that a lot of people watch. He's going to definitely hold his cards very close to his chest. I think he already knows what he wants to do. I think he knew what he was going to. I think he knew what he was going to do with this position this offseason when he was hired last offseason. And it was, okay, if Derek Carr doesn't work out, we're going to go get a young quarterback in the upcoming draft. Period, point blank, the end. I think that was an option since day one. Even if you got Tom Brady, you know what I mean, blase, blah, you have to go get a guy. We just had an interview with Hendon Hooker. You know what I'm saying? There was rumblings behind the scenes that Zieg is a huge CJ Stroud guy, that Josh McDaniels was a Bryce Young guy. We've heard this from some people inside the building, right? But it is what it is. At the end of the day, smoke and mirrors, my brother. I think that he already knew what he wanted to do. If we miss out on one of these veterans, we're gonna go get a young guy regardless. There was a reason why you throw out Stidham the last 2 weeks of the offseason. I think they knew what they had in Stidham, right? I'm not saying he's great. Hell, I can't even really say he's good at this point. He played one really good game, and then he kind of, came back down to being pedestrian against the Chiefs the last, but I think it was always an option to say, we'll run with Stidham. Let's show the nation what he can do. Maybe they're comfortable running with him and go draft a guy and going to draft a guy. I'm not too worried about this. At the end of the day, I'm actually excited, bro. We have not talked about going to get a quarterback in almost 10 years. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and mind you, we're having GOATs that are being attached to this brand now, whether it's Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. Back then, we were talking about getting the Matt Schaubs of the world. We were all excited to get Matt Schaub, bro. Like who wasn't? I know I was.
Look, I know I wasn't.
Well,
And to be honest with you, bro, because we had so many bad quarterbacks, and I get it. The thing is, at this point, if we were picking in the top 5, I'd be like, you know what? They know what they're going to do. But the fact that we're in the 7th position and us getting up to get a guy that they will want includes them having to probably move up is a problem for me. Okay. That's a problem for me because, look, man, you know there are 3 guys that are on the board that can go in the top 3. Mm-hmm. There are 3 guys that can go in the top 3: Levis, Young, Stroud. Now you get into the Anthony Richardson. He's probably the best pure athlete. He's probably the best specimen at quarterback since Cam Newton.
I think he is going to be a bust at the next level.
Now, this is what I was going to say. He's probably athletically, he's probably the best specimen since Cam Newton.
Yes.
But actually being a quarterback and throwing the football, he is a project and a half.
Yes. A man that can throw 75 yards in the air and then struggle to throw a 10-yard pass. Look, at the end of the day, yes, AR-15 is definitely a shot in the dark if you go get him.
Okay, so now when you talk about Hendon Hooker, right? Mm-hmm. We talk about Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker, to me, is the best. He's the best quarterback. I mean, he's my favorite quarterback. He's my favorite prospect. The thing is that I'm sure that when they set out to do what they were going to do, that Hendon Hooker is not their number 1 quarterback on the board. I'm sure of that. Mm-hmm. He's not their number 1 guy, bro. So the thing is that at this point, how could you say that was their plan this year? Because if their plan is to get a quarterback, you know that you need to be in the fucking top 3 or 4. You know that if it's to get a quarterback. Now, if they're trying to do some Patriot ass shit and get somebody in the lower round, then maybe that's what it is. Maybe I stand corrected.
That's where they came from. They got Zappe in the 4th. They got Stidham in the 4th, I believe. They got, Brady in the 6th. The list goes on, right?
It's only worked one time with the Patriots, and that's the thing that bothers me.
What was Jimmy? Was Jimmy a second rounder, right?
Yeah, he was a second rounder.
Okay. All right.
He was a second rounder. He was taken. Was he taken before Carr? No, he was taken
after Carr. Carr was the first. Was he the first or second pick off the board?
Yeah, he was like the second pick off the board, and then Jimmy GQ went in the middle of the second round. But bro, like this shit hasn't really ever really worked. Like everybody talks about the Patriot way now. It's worked on the defensive side of the football, but offensive players and quarterbacks, it's only worked one motherfucking time. And when you talk about like the Julian Edelmans of the world, and they got that off. But Wes Welker's a free agent. Randy Moss is a free agent. They drafted Gronk. They did well with that. Yeah. And they did well with Aaron Hernandez. But most of the guys who have done damage with the Patriots are like free agents and guys they got off the scrap heap. So where's this great draft history? And these guys weren't even there for that.
But you can just look around the draft. Just look around, period, in the NFL, though. Wasted Russell Wilson was a 3rd rounder. It ended up going into 2 Super Bowls. You know what I'm saying? Like there is a long history of going to get quarterbacks in the mid rounds that works out.
But the problem with that is that it's an anomaly. More of the rule than the exception is that you take a 1st round quarterback. When you take guys that were drafted number 1 or guys that were drafted in the 1st round, just look at the last few guys to win a Super Bowl. These guys, Matthew Stafford, number 1 pick. Joe Burrow played in the Super Bowl last year, number 1 pick. Patrick Mahomes, 10th pick in the 1st round. Fucking Josh Allen hasn't been to a Super Bowl yet, but all of the best guys, if you go back in the annals of history, most of these guys are number 1 picks. Fucking Eli Manning, Peyton Manning, all these dudes.
I get it, but there's a lot of busts in that conversation as well in those early rounds, though. It is a crapshoot. And to be real with you,
68%.
Yeah, and I do believe this isn't the draft to go get a guy in the middle rounds. I don't. I think if Hendon Hooker is there, if he falls, because I agree with you. All season long, Hendon Hooker was my favorite quarterback in college football. And then he went down with the MCL. And I started really looking more at Levis's tape and kind of saying, okay, this is my guy. I like him. He's mobile. He's a huge arm. You know what I'm saying? It's just, he has the mechanics. It's just everything in between the ears he needs to get right. But I agree with you in a sense. I just believe that I do believe Tom Brady was the first option, but I don't think these guys are stupid enough to bet their futures, their jobs, everything on a 45-year-old quarterback that could retire any given moment. I just don't. I think that was an option. I do think it was an option. I think that all these guys were options. I think that A-Rod is. I think at the beginning of the year, when they started seeing Carr struggle, these guys came together and said, we have to start looking at who's going to be available and blah, blah. I maybe I'm giving Zieg a little more credit than what he deserves. I don't know. He comes off as a smart guy. Watching this interview, man, I got it. He was the politician, bro. You know what I mean? Like, he was a politician. You know what I mean? Like, simple and plain, I do believe they have a plan, though. We don't know what the hell it is. You know what I'm saying? We don't know if we're going to trade up. Either way, if you go get A-Rod, draft capital. If you want to trade up to get Stroud, draft capital. It's looking like if we don't sit back at 7, we're going to have to get rid of some draft capital in order to make this happen. I don't see Zieg going out and changing and literally mortgaging our future for a quarterback this season. I don't see it.
See, and that is a little, how can I put this? To be honest with you, right? The way that I feel like this should all go is that I think that they should draft best player available.
Real quick, shout out to Ryan Rangel too, my brother. My bad. Your order is on the way, King. Shout out to you, my brother. I appreciate you. OakLasVegas.com. My boy Ryan went and grabbed 2 shirts, a shirt and a hoodie. Appreciate you, my brother. It is on the way. Go ahead, brother.
The way that you really build a team is that you start off, you take best play available, and you fill in the roster. Now, if you look at our roster, all of the superstar talent besides Max Crosby is on the offensive side of the football.
Yeah.
That's barring that you bring Josh Jacobs back, right? Mm-hmm. So you need to have some organizational cornerstones on the other side of the football. So I'd make the assertion that you got to draft on that side of the ball, and you got to get a quarterback when you can.
Yeah.
Bring Stidham. You kind of hope that you're competitive, and then if you're not, then you start all over again, and you build the roster up to a place where the roster is so good that the only thing you need is a quarterback. So then you can put all your chips to the table, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think this is the year. The problem with this is that Mark Davis has come out and said that he's embarrassed. Mark Davis has come out and said that, yo, man, we got to start winning around here, right? Mm-hmm. And Mark Davis also is the same guy who gave John Gruden 10 years of his life to fuck this up. Not 10 years, but he have a 10-year contract. He gave John Gruden so long to fuck up. I think he's gotten a little more Al than Mark. So I think that he's going to do some Al type of shit and get rid of these guys probably a little more prematurely than they should be. And that's why they need to do everything they can to right this ship, keep Devontae Adams, and make a playoff to buy themselves some time.
Let me ask you this. Free agency starts March 15th. For those who don't know, you guys, we will be live probably 10 hours that day. We're going to be live, Mount Shillmore. Everybody's going to be linked in. We're going to be doing a huge free agency live, so stay tuned for that. My favorite day of the year. Is there any players, right? Say we miss out on A-Rod, right? Is there any players in this free agency pool that we go out and get where you're comfortable, like, you know what, man, we missed out on A-Rod. You know, it is what it is. Is there some players in this free agency pool that we can grab where you're like, okay, we built the defense up, you know what I'm saying? We kind of, now I'm excited about the draft. I'm not too worried. Like, is there any kind of talent in this free agency pool that kind of ease the blow for you?
I mean, there's a lot of guys like that.
The defense, right? It's because we keep saying it's defense. That's the problem. Blah, blah, blah. If you go out and get a Hargraves, it looks like Deron Payne may get franchise tagged with the Commanders.
Yeah, he's getting franchise. That's a fact. He's getting franchise tag.
Yeah. So I think he's off the board regardless. And we weren't going to pay that kind of money anyway. But I'm going to say, you know, we go out and get, say, a Jesse Bates at safety. You know what I'm saying? Because Merrick has not gotten it done. Shout out to Trayvon Merrick. He unfollowed me on IG. I guess he watches the show. He's been seeing us cook him as of late. So shout out to Merrick, man. Say we get a Jesse Bates, right? And we get a player at each level of the defense, because I don't know if a lot of people seen that this tweet from Scout. It was phenomenal. People don't realize that next offseason, we're going to have over $100 million at our disposal in free agency. So we can backload a lot of these contracts that we signed these guys with this year, backload them and pay them with the $100+ million that we have. You know what I mean? So we can really go in and make a huge difference this offseason. We really can, bro. We can go out and really sign a bunch of free agents that'll move the needle. You know what I'm saying? And backload a few contracts to pay them off next season. So if you get a Jesse Bates at safety, say you get what's a line? Who's a Tranquil? We get Tranquil and we get Hargraves. That's a very good start to your offseason. It kind of eases the blow for me in a sense if we miss out on Brady or we miss out on A-Rod, because we've seen other guys, Purdy, last pick in the damn draft, go to an NFC championship with a stout defense and some nice pieces around him. You know what I mean? So is there, if we really attack free agency really, really hard because we miss out on A-Rod or one of these type of guys, are you comfortable with that going into the draft, knowing that we're going to have to get a young guy?
Yeah, man. I mean, look, man, as long as if they do the right thing in free agency, I'm cool at that point.
Yeah.
If I know that the roster, I can look up and down that roster and I'm like, man, we got talent on every level of the defense. We got a special thing brewing defensively. Hey, we added to the offense. We plugged our holes in. We have a stout ass roster. We're like the 49ers.
Yeah.
Okay, fuck it. Let's see how far we get. Because I think if they have the talent, I think Josh McDaniels is a talented enough play caller to hide the deficiencies of a younger guy.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with that. My thing is that you got to be careful because there's always a run on quarterbacks, right? So a guy like Hendon Hooker.
Yeah, we talked about that, man. Yeah, he could be a first-round pick. He could be a first-round pick.
You can't take him at 7,
bro.
And that's
Baltimore can go draft that guy right now, put that tag on Lamar, and trade him, and they have the guy of the future, like real shit.
And that's the problem, right? Yeah. So people say, "Well, go get Lamar Jackson." No, why would you do that? Lamar Jackson turned down like damn near $200 million.
Yeah.
You don't want Lamar Jackson. If you got Lamar Jackson, you have a really, really bad football team because you can't build around that team now. Yeah. So now, what do you do if you're the Raiders, right? And no more Hendon Hooker. Will Levis is off the board. C.J. Stroud's off the board. Fucking Bryce Young's off the board. Now what? And see, that's that they painted themselves in a corner based off of the draft position.
Let's get these supers in real quick and real fast. Shout out to my boy DeMarcus Webb as well. Just ordered a tea on oaklasvegas.com. My brother, I appreciate you so much for the support. Let me see. Hold on. It is on the way, King. It is on the way. I just fulfilled your order. Boom. It's lit. Shout out to you, man, once again. Let's get these supers in. Big time. I love you, my brother. That won't happen. And if you said, who do we have to get rid of? Everybody. Shout out to big time, bro. Like, if you want Ramsey, Lamar, Khalil Mack, Keenan Allen, OBJ, you're gonna have to get rid of everybody in order to make that happen. That's a whole superstar lineup right there. Shout out to my boy Big Time. Shout out to Hawk. Why not say F it and get Jacob? No. That's a bad team right there, man. We seen Cleveland, fit him into, just kind of had him be that bridge starter until Deshaun Watson came back. He struggled mightily. He looked good here and there. But I know that he's way more familiar with this system, being, a former Patriot. I'm cool, man. I do not want to bring Jacoby Brissett in at all.
Jacoby Brissett is he's like probably the third or fourth best backup in the National Football League.
Yes.
So that means he's probably like the 40th best quarterback in football. You don't want that guy starting for you.
You just bring Stidham back at that point. Like, there's no reason why go get Jacoby Brissett when you can bring a Stidham in, a younger guy that knows the system, and this is the system that he's known his whole NFL career. To me, it makes no sense. Shout out to Black Sales, my dog. With the Zeke interview, I got that he may have a longer leash than what we all think. Did y'all get that? Yes. I think we talked about that the other day as well, my brother. Like, I think that Zeke has a longer leash than Josh McDaniels anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really do. I think when they came in this, they said, yes, we are a package deal, but if it comes down to, one of us having to go, it's going to be Josh, bro. Like, I think that they know this. Like, they have to.
I doubt it. I think that if one of them goes, they both go. Because what has David Ziegler done to prove that he should still be here? Name one thing he's done.
Who?
David Ziegler, since he's done nothing to warrant keeping him. To see that was engineered by Devontae's want to be here and Derek Carr. So like
he made it happen.
So yeah, but he not really. Like, look, if I was the GM, that would have happened. Like, let's be for real, bro. Like, the guy's done nothing, right? And
Dylan, high stakes, Parham.
listen, if he gets to keep his fucking job over Dylan Parham, Mark Davis, look, to me, I've always been under the assertion that you never keep a GM and then go out and go get another coach.
No,
You don't
I
give
agree with you,
you scrap the whole thing.
I agree. I don't know why. I just have this weird nagging suspicion that Zieg wants to turn this thing around, and he's going to turn this thing around. You came in year one. These guys had a whole new, whole new. They needed the whole new system. They didn't have the talent to fit what they were trying to do. I gave him a mulligan in year one. This is the year with the full draft to show us what he can do. And I believe in him. Shout to Paul. Yes, we got 4 and 5X, my brother. We definitely got the fluffy, friendly shirts. OaklandLasVegas.com. Shout out to my brother Paul, man.
But look, the reason why I'm saying this is this. If you're going to get rid of Josh McDaniels, you got to start all over again. You need to bring in a new regime, new GM. You need people that are lock and step in with each other. David Ziegler, it's not like David Ziegler's an established GM in the National Football League.
No, not at all.
It's not like, say, for instance, a guy like in his heyday, Bobby Beathard or fucking Bruce Allen or somebody like that, right? Or anybody. It's not that. You got a guy who came in attached at the hip with a coach. That means that if this shit is not working out and Mark Davis gets his screws cranked on by the fan base, you got to get them both out of here. Because that would be the only reason why you give them one off season to right the ship. Yeah. If you're gonna burn it down all the way, right? I'm not saying that that's the right thing to do.
What's tougher to find? What's tougher to find, a head coach or a GM?
I mean, I think they're both equally as tough. Because
if you hire the right GM, you'll hire the right head coach, right?
That's not necessarily the truth, because some GMs' strength lies in personnel, and it doesn't lie in hiring the right coach, right? So it all depends, man. You got to have people that in a philosophy. Their philosophy has to be lock and step with each other, right? The problem with a guy like David Ziegler is that most of his relationships have been predicated on his relationship with Josh McDaniels. That's how he got into professional.
No, I understand that. I definitely get that.
So my thing is, go ahead, bro.
No. Go ahead.
No, really quickly. I feel like what needs to happen is they need to prove to us in a real way that they even belong.
Yeah.
This year is the year that they got to prove. 6-10 again.
No. 6-11. Yeah, it's
6-11. 6-11 again ain't gonna fucking get it.
No,
now, say for instance, you don't make the playoffs, but you're like close. You're damn near 500. I can sell that to me. Yeah. I can sell that to the rest of the fan base being a content creator.
It's no. I can sell that if you don't have an A-Rod. If you have an A-Rod and you go 6 and you just get a little better and you miss out in the playoffs,
you gotta go.
You gotta go. Now, if you bring Stidham back and he just outperforms and looks really, really good, or you bring in a young guy like a CJ Stroud and he balls out in year one, you have to give them another year to build on that. You know what I'm saying? There's so many different elements to this situation, man. You know what I'm saying? But no, if you go get the A-Rod and we don't make the playoffs, I'm sorry, bro. You got to go. Real quick, shout out to Hawk, man. I want next year's LB core to be Tranquil or TJ Edwards, Diablo, Simpson, or Henley. I love Henley out of Washington State. And maybe Jack Campbell. Love Jack Campbell out of Iowa as well. Luke Masterson is the 4th LB. Shout out to Luke, man. That's my guy, UDFA out of Wake Forest. I hear you, Hawk. Shout out to my dog, Hawk, man. As always, appreciate you, King. Shout out to Big Time. Will Mark Davis bring the old regime back? Hell no, Big Time Willie. Shout out to my dog, Willie, man. Shout out to Corey. If you take Richardson and build up around him with Stidham, you taking the build-up approach, as Wasted said. If they fire them both, you just got it wrong. Davis needs to go at that point. Look, at the end of the day, man, you're saying, Corey, that Davis needs to go at that point?
Yeah, who's going to make that happen?
Yeah, but at that point, who's going to make that happen? That's this guy probably is in the best graces in the world with the NFL at this point. Successfully, relocated his team. Nobody had to pay anything for it. You know what I mean? The stars are aligned out there in Las Vegas. I don't know how we would even get Mark out of that building at all. Shout out to Corey, though.
I actually do, though. And I think they're laying the groundwork for it. And a lot of the scandals that are happening around the Raiders and some of the fires Mark has put out, he's one Me Too situation away from them running him the fuck out of the National Football League. Now, I know there's another owner who had some crass kind of things happen too. His name is Jerry Richardson. He's no longer the owner of the Carolina Panthers because they wanted an owner who had deeper pockets. David Tepper is one of the richest men in the world. So that is the reason what the NFL did. When they wanted to get Jerry Richards, he was a former player. They wanted to get him out of there. The Me Too shit start popping up. And then everybody got together and they took his team. And Mark doesn't have the kind of money to fight that kind of shit. So trust me, if pretty soon the NFL is going to start laying the screws to him if he doesn't start winning in that fucking market.
I'll tell you right now, man, Mark be at all the parties we be at in Vegas. That man be in the back blowing cigars with his players, kicking it with the hey man, hey Mark.
I fuck with Mark Davis, but I'm
Mark a real one.
the league does not fuck with him like that. Yeah. Trust me, they want somebody that's a trust fund, hedge fund, billionaire motherfucker.
Let's get these supers in and let's get to talking about the Titans blowing it up. There's a few guys, man, that just were cut today. You guys, Taylor Lewan, Robert Woods. We definitely want to talk about those guys. Actually, Zach Cunningham as well, linebacker. Tennessee is blowing that thing up. Let me get these supers in. And before we do that, everybody wipe them feet, hit them thumbs up, pay your bar tabs, and hit that subscribe button on both channels, the Oakland Las Vegas Raiders Network and Raider Nation Unlimited. We appreciate every single one of you guys for being here tonight with us. For real, for real. Shout out to Edgar. Row is steady. Next year, QB class is deeper and better. We are in denial that we are rebuilding. I don't think we're rebuilding. Edgar, I think we're retooling. I know that sounds like kind of a poor excuse but I don't think we are. We have a lot of. I don't know how you rebuild with a Waller, potentially Jacobs back, Renfro, Devontae. I just don't. Max Crosby. You're not. How are you rebuilding when you have a bunch of cornerstones on your roster already? You know what I'm saying? I believe we're retooling, but I hear you though. Speaking of next year's class, man, did you hear about Caleb Williams talking about teams potentially playing for next year? He said specifically the Miami Dolphins. He said that's his number one team that he would want to play for. And it's weird because they already have, their quarterback Tua, which I don't know if he's going to be there because of the concussions. And then he mentioned the Raiders, Niners, and Falcons. He said he would love to play for those teams as well. A California guy. I want to say this, you guys. I just hope we are not in the sweepstakes for him because that means we were terrible this year.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think Caleb Williams is going to be no one pick this year.
Wow.
I think Caleb Williams is a guy, the more that he talks, the more that he plays, he's going to get exposed in a way where he's going to fall. Caleb Williams is a bit of a shithead, man. You don't want the CEO of your football team.
Yo. Hold on. Say that again, bro. What happened?
Said Caleb Williams is a bit of a shithead. He is.
Why, bro? Why is he a shithead?
Because, bro, the way he handles stuff, he's a punk. I don't like it. Maybe I'm just old, but look, man. He's a little, painting the fingernail, painting cuss words on his fingernails about the other team. Quarterbacks.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, like quarterbacks are not supposed to do punk shit like that. To me, Caleb Williams is a punk. I'm not a big Caleb Williams guy, man.
So he's like a TikTok brother away from.
Yeah, bro. He's not. At least Mahomes plays the game, but Mahomes, all of the negativity that
comes. Shout out to Andrew too. Appreciate you, bro.
All of the negativity that comes around Patrick Mahomes are motherfuckers who are not him. It's his brother and his wife and shit like that. It's not him, bro. It's just something about Caleb Williams I don't like, and I got a feeling as he goes through the season, Drake May and all these other guys are gonna pass him up.
And no, their schedule is a lot tougher this season as well, Wasted. So he may get exposed this year. I am not sold on Caleb Williams at this moment. I got to see more from him. Shout out to Old School. Not impressed with the GM. Free agents last year. Hollins was the best pickup by far, and he's average. Top free agents won a ring, not a rebuild. I hear you, Old School. Shout out to my dog, Old School. Shout out to James. This New England way is frustrating me. There's more than one way to build a championship team. Zieg and McDaniels need to get off their high horses. Shout out to my dog, James Lillard. As always, my brother, I appreciate you. And also shout out to Patrick B. Whiffed on Brown, Nichols, Alex Bars. Dave Z needs to hit home runs this offseason. Shout out to my dog, Patrick B. as well, man. We appreciate you. I have no idea where these are coming from, but either way, we love you guys and appreciate you guys for them. I didn't expect too much from Zieg last season, bro, coming in and having to redo everything. I mean, man, like, you know what I mean? Like, what do we have last year? 5 draft picks?
Yeah.
We had 5.
Yeah.
Like, what do you expect from that? You know what I mean? Like that's where really good teams build their foundation for their team. And we may not have one, maybe Parham. Like we didn't really have any real cornerstone guys in that draft. So allow this man this year, you guys. Let's kind of get off the Dave Z bashing, you know, like let's get off that for a minute. Like just allow him this offseason to cook. 3 more weeks. Free agency opens up, and we'll have some time to either kill this man or praise this man. Give him a little bit more time. Shout out to Big Time once again. NFL didn't like Al. NFL don't like Mark. Bo Nix. Bo Nix went back to school. He's back in Oregon this season. Big Time. If he kills it though, you know, next season, I have nothing against Bo Nix. I don't.
I'll be honest with you. I don't trust Oregon quarterbacks, man. I don't trust USC quarterbacks either. I can't remember the last USC quarterback that's been worth the shit.
But you're good with Stroud though.
Yeah, what do you mean? He's not from USC.
But he's from Ohio State, where everybody says them quarterbacks suck.
Yeah, but see, that's the difference, man. I said USC.
Here we go.
I said USC. Look, and I know you scout the player, not the helmet. It's just that with Caleb Williams,
these YouTubers be painting narratives. You guys, they paint these.
No, because this is the difference, right? The Pac-10.
Facts, Omar. Facts. A chess move. Facts. Go ahead.
Look, the Pac-10, right? The last great quarterback to come out of the Pac-10 was Andrew Luck.
Shout out to Jimmy, man.
So you had Andrew Luck, you had Aaron Rodgers, you know what I mean, come out of Cal and everything like that. But the Pac-10, man, has been woefully weak the last probably 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Carson Palmer.
Matt Leinart.
Matt Leinart was a bum. But
hey, Ray, get out of here, Ray. You're helping his cause.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Santa Claus of the National Football League throwing interceptions and shit, right? But no, I'm just saying, I can't remember. Like Carson Palmer, how long ago was that? Yeah. That was a long time. It was damn near 20 years ago. Yeah. It was damn near 20 years ago. So it's
Sam Darnold too. Sam Darnold
is trash, bro. He's garbage, bro.
I didn't say his name to say he was dope, brother. I just said his name. I was helping your cause.
Thank you. He's a bum.
That's all I was doing. Justin Fields changed the narrative for Ohio State quarterbacks for me. I don't care what anybody says.
but not on the real though, man. On the real, bro. My thing is this, man. And I think I've lost my train of thought because I'm just bashing you.
Yes. That's what I wanted, and it worked. While you think about it, shout out to Dennis, man, with the 100 pop. Wasted talks truth. The two of you guys together is gold. Do it more. I appreciate you, brother. And this is why I think every one of my lives I have my brother Wasted on damn near. Outside of Coffee and Convo, Wasted is pretty much on every one of my shows. This is chemistry from talking on the phone probably 3 hours a day, every day. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you, Dennis. And trust me, bro, we got a lot of big things in the works, a lot of big guests in the works. So stay tuned for that. And Wasted will be on screen with every single one of them. So stay tuned. I want y'all to know, man, it's been quiet, right? On these YouTube streets, it's been quiet with us. But behind the scenes, you can ask my bro, I've been cooking, putting some stuff together, and he has been cooking with this Planet Raider stuff. So stay tuned. Dennis, my brother, we appreciate your kind words, and we definitely appreciate the donation.
Thank you, my brothers.
Yeah. But go ahead and get back to that shitty-ass argument you had.
Well, listen, I'm going to be honest with you, man. Like with Caleb Williams, bro, I just – if we're in a position to take him at number 1, then that means that I would make the assertion that these guys aren't going to be here. So I'm hoping that they're able to go and do what the fuck they're supposed to do this year and put us in a position where if we do need to move up into the top half of the draft, the rest of the team is set and we can trade our draft away and be okay with it.
Yeah. He said, Kara said, love Waste. He tries really hard tonight.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry with the potty mouth. I do try, but it's not happening.
Hey, I seen that report, Raider Mike. I swear these motherfuckers just be throwing spaghetti at walls and shit. Taylor Heineke is a bridge to compete with Stiddy in the red. Why bring in a guy like him? Don't get me wrong. I like his game. I think the players they fight for him when he's in there at quarterback. But why? Like just re-sign Stiddy, who knows the system. Heineke doesn't know the system at all. And apparently that was the problem this year, right? Where Derek Carr just completely shit the bed. So why go bring in another guy that has no idea how this system is ran or anything? If you're going to go get a guy, it has to be a legend like A-Rod. Like that's the only guy that I can even think of that has not been in this system at all to bring him in. You know what I'm saying? Like that's it. I'm not going to go get a Heineke or a Daniel Jones or any of these guys. Aaron Rodgers or bust. And then if he ain't here, re-sign Stidham, go get your young guy in the draft.
I'm going to be quite honest with you. If Tyler Heineke is brought in and they try to trot him out as a starter, bro, I'm going to the headquarters. I am going to fucking unceremoniously heckle and yell at everybody involved in this organization. And every event we're at, I'm going to heckle them. Everyone. Because I'm not a heckler, but that's what I'm going to do.
No, dog. If we get Heineke, bro, we're just going to go live every day and bash every single person in that building. Like we're going to do the blackout parties. I'm going to have pictures of the front office in clown suits and shit. But we're going to make a spectacle of this if that's the situation, bro. There's no way in hell you can sell to this franchise bringing out a Taylor Heineke. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. It's just not going to happen. And like I said before, Raider Mike, there's no attachment. No one. I don't think anyone in this organization has any ties to Taylor Heineke at this point.
The only people who should have ties to Taylor Heineke is the grocery store where he should be bagging groceries at. This guy should not be a starting quarterback in the National Football League.
But you know what? And I'll say this: Taylor Heineke is the white Jacoby Brissett.
Man, yo, put some respect on Jacoby Brissett name.
Hey, bro. I'm saying, because at that point, you just bring in Brissett. For what? At least he knows the system. I don't want either one of them, man. Shout out to Raider Mike. Let me see. Shout out to everybody here in the building. Stay solid. The gang. I'm in Dallas. Been trying to catch it live all week. Laugh out loud. Would have loved to link with you. Shout out to my dog. Stay solid, man. I appreciate you, King. Shout out to Dennis. He said, talk that shot. I know he meant to say shit. I love seeing that. All right, let's get these supers in real fast, and we're going to get to the shits. I'll take Chase Garbers over there. Jimmy G. No, Edgar. Garbers is trash. Take it from a guy born and raised in Northern California. You do not want nothing to do with Chase Garbers. Shout out to Corey. Real quick, man. Next year's class is loaded. Draft QB back-to-back years. What does it hurt? Draft till you get one. KJ Jefferson is my guy. Shout out to Corey, man. And look, at this point, you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to. You're going to have to draft until you get it right, especially if you miss out on an A-Rod. And even if you get A-Rod, that's maybe a 1-2 year Band-Aid. So at some point, you're going to have to hit on this shit. So look, Corey, I agree. Let me see. Shout out to everybody here in the building, man. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. All right, let's talk about it. We seen Ziegler. We talked about the whole Bussin with the boys situation. There's a left tackle that is probably now available in free agency. I personally think he's going to retire. I think there's greener pastures in the podcasting world for Taylor Lewan, but I do believe, with Zeke being there, talking to him, a GM at that, it's crazy, right? That a GM, the guy that actually does the hiring, just had a podcast with the guy that was cut a day or two later. Is there any way, and mind you, at this point in his career, he's a 3-time Pro Bowler. He is not moving to right tackle. He's a career left tackle. If we brought him in, you'd have to move Colton to the right-hand side. And he played right tackle at UCLA. I think he played some right tackle in high school as well in the Sacramento area. Are you looking at bringing him in two torn ACLs? Two in his career. Would you think about bringing him in?
I don't think about bringing him in. You know what I mean? Like, he's at this point in his career, bro, he's more podcasting than left tackle.
Yeah.
Right? And then you're looking at it from the perspective of, like somebody just said in the chat, is that like low-key tampering, bro?
Hey, shout out to Bourbon. Yeah, like, bro, like, that's weird to me. Literally a day or two late. Because Tennessee, for those who don't know, they saved a slew of money getting rid of him. They saved $12 million getting rid of Robert Woods, who just came off of a down year. I think he had like 500 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns, even though their quarterback situation was in shambles in Tennessee, and they're a run-heavy team. But look, I think we can pretty much put this one to bed real quick. I don't see Taylor Lewan coming. I think he's going to stick with Will Compton. I think they're both going to retire, walk off into the sunset, and do their podcast thing. I know Will Compton kind of jokes and plays around like he's still looking to be out with a team and blah, blah, blah. I think he is very, very happy where he is in the podcast world. Why put your body at risk week in and week out when you probably get paid more money doing a podcast or somewhere damn near close to it? I mean, Lewan's a little different. He had a nice bag. He got paid very, very well. Yeah. Will Compton is a little different.
Yeah, he's a journeyman. Like with Taylor Lewan, bro, 2014, first year, 6 games started, played 11 games.
Yeah.
Right. But then you go from 2020 on, started 5 games, played 5 games. 2021, only played 13 games. Last year, he played 2 games. So you see the trend, man. You can kind of see when a player is falling off the cliff. That trend right there. When you see a trend like that, you should believe it. I wouldn't want any parts of him, and I'm not disturbing Colton Miller at left tackle for a guy that's a maybe.
I agree. Look, I agree, brother. So look, we don't even have to waste any time on that Taylor Lewan situation. Shout out to him. I do believe he'll retire and just go do his thing. Great career. More power to him, man. Robert Woods, you guys, for those who don't remember, I believe he tore his ACL with the Rams. Was that what it was? And then they signed OBJ. They ended up winning the Super Bowl the year. They cut him, saved a bunch. Oh, no, they traded him to Tennessee for like a 6th-round pick, something like that. He went to Tennessee. They're not a pass-heavy team. He didn't really stand a chance out there. He is 30 years old. He is a California guy. I know he probably would want to return to the West Coast. The Raiders could be an option. I told you this on the phone earlier. I don't want your wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2, both of them to be 30-year-old guys. You know what I mean? I don't. I want to go get a young guy, if anything. Go get a young guy in the draft if you can. Bring Mac Hollins back at that point. Like have him. I don't want to have a 30-year-old guy that has was dealt with a mean injury. And coming off of a down season with Tennessee, I don't think it's smart. I think he will end up going back to the Rams. What do you think about Robert Woods?
I mean, it's another guy that just doesn't make any sense for us. I mean, at this point, we haven't located a quarterback, right? So that could be a lot of money. That could be a lot of draft compensation, right?
Yeah.
So you don't want to commit any salary cap space to offensive players that are not coming from the Raiders. Now, the only offensive player that's going to rock my world is if they sign Josh Jacobs or they franchise him and they do whatever they got to do with him, right? But after you do that, and if you don't have a quarterback on this roster, you better not bring a motherfucker on that offense until you go and load that defense up.
Yep.
Because if you're going to be pedestrian at the quarterback, you have to make sure that you can stop somebody. Yep. Like if you don't have a quarterback that you can be like, yo, this guy is a starter, we could depend on him. If they got to be like, oh, we got to kind of babysit this guy, you got to have a defense. You just fucking have to.
And that's why Pace, man, shout out to you on the 10-piece special, man. Keep steady as a bridge. Go big on O-line or defense at 7, then draft Hooker 25 coming off the ACL, but he's that dude. Talent just as good as a top 3 quarterback. This is facts. I am all in. And I think we've been saying this since before the offseason. We were mentioning Hendon Hooker in the middle rounds like crazy all year long. I'm hoping that happens, man. If we miss out on the CJ Strouds or the Will Levises of the world. Shout out to my boy, Captain Jack, man. Appreciate you, brother. How about McKee from Stanford? Intelligent. Yes, very intelligent. Tall guy, has all the measurables. Me personally, I just don't want him. I don't, he's surprisingly mobile though. To be that big, like he is surprisingly mobile, but that's not my guy, Cap. I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm good. I'm good. Shout out to my brother, Captain Jack, though, man.
If he can't shine in the Pac-10, then you gotta, look, he has the measurables. He's a guy that you look at, and if you saw him and you haven't watched him play football, you would say, you know what, let me take a flyer on this guy. Yeah. But he reminds me of a guy like, say, for instance, a Ryan Mallett. You remember Ryan Mallett, man?
Long arm out of Arkansas, went to New England. Yes.
Big dude, all of that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, he's not the kind of guy, he's stupid, that I'm going to say, yo, this is my quarterback of the future. Now, if he's there in the 3rd or the 4th round,
you can look at
flyer on him.
Yeah,
but I'm not spending a 2nd or 1st on that guy.
Mike Glennon 2.0. Shout out to MS. You don't have to trade to get Mariota back. He's a free agent, and no, I don't want nothing to do with him, MS. Shout out to my dog. No Marcus Mariota. He's a free agent. Shout out to James, man. I respect both your opinions. Great content, man. My dog James always coming through and blessing the page. I appreciate you, brother. For real. Shout out to Dan, real quick. Can't trot Heineke or Brissett out there. Might as well give Matt Leinart a call. I'm a Hendon Hooker guy in the second or the third. Jimmy G is a stopgap. Ain't bad. If he can stay healthy, Dan, I agree. But that's a huge question mark. Can't pass up at D lineman or corner at 7. I agree. If Jalen Carter is there, which he won't be, get him. If not, go corner. Go corner. This is a heavy draft at the cornerback spot. I agree, bro. Trade back, preferably in the middle of the first. Get you a guy and pick up an extra second or third. Shout out to my boy Dan, man. Shout out to Dennis as well. Once again with a 50-piece special rookie QB. Let Doxson waste it, pick the players on D, but get at me one badass interior lineman and Josh, I'll ride or die with that squad next year.
That's a fact, bro.
That shit, Dennis. Shout out to Dennis, came through and blessed us with a 150-piece, man, tonight, man. Shout out to my guy. Real quick, man, let me see. Shout out to Cap. Good night, my brother.
My guy, Dennis, man. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, Dennis came through and he rocking the night. Let me see. Okay. Well, I mean, is there any more thoughts on what about Zach Cunningham, a linebacker?
Zach Cunningham, now I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
It's not just because he's on the defensive side of the ball. Zach Cunningham's a guy that I actually wanted the Raiders to take a flyer on when he was coming out of the draft.
Yeah.
That is a sneaky pickup for a very, very weak linebacker room that we have right now. And a lot of the guys that we have in our linebacker room are not under contract anymore, like Denzel Perryman, all these guys. Zach Cunningham is the perfect kind of guy to bring in, especially based off of the things that Patrick Graham wants to do. He's a very versatile linebacker. He's not great in coverage, but he can get upfield. He's stout. You can play him at the mic, and you can play him outside of the weak side. I like him, man.
This year, I believe he dealt with some injuries as well. Wasn't he kind of, I don't know, 24 combined tackles, 9 assists, no picks. Like you said, he's not great in coverage. I believe he has about 6.5 sacks in the past few seasons or something like that. He's 28 years old, former Vanderbilt product. I like him. Like we need as much help as we can, regardless at the linebacker position. So I'm all for it. He has 6.5 sacks in his career. So he's not a guy that's going to get to the quarterback a lot. He does play the run fairly well. He was on injured reserve. He was on an IR this year.
Yeah, but you got to look at it for his career, right? So you look at the 6.5 sacks. Now, how many years has he been in the league, right? How many games has he started?
He's been here since 2017.
2017, right? So we got to look at how many games the guy started.
3 sacks in 2020 alone with the Houston Texans.
Yeah, so I like Zach Cunningham. I think he's a guy that the more he plays, the better he'll be for you. And to be honest with you, we need more depth in that linebacker room. I don't need to bring him in as a guy that I'm hanging my hat on and totally dependent on, but he's a good, young, stout backer that you can bring in and you can move around like Patrick Graham likes.
Yep, I agree. Real quick, let's get these supers in real fast. Shout out to Patrick once again. What do we do with the middle of the D-line and the linebackers? That's funny you asked. Zach Cunningham is definitely an option at this point. He's a free agent. It's a decent defensive draft this year on all levels. I think that there's 5 to maybe 7, and that's being very, very extra defensive tackles in this draft that I'm excited about.
I think it's about 5, man.
Maybe
Mozzie Smith. Mozzie Smith from Michigan.
I know. Yes, bro.
You know I love Mozzie Smith.
You were right on Mozzie. I went back and he's a feisty dude, bro. Like he can get to the quarterback and play the run. I think he's like an all-around defensive lineman. It's just we got to make sure his head, with them screws is not loose, man. Because
Warren Sapp don't got his screws right. Darryl Russell didn't have his screws.
Yeah, and Warren Sapp didn't show up to our event, so you know what I mean.
I'm just saying, but he played a hell of a fucking defensive tackle, bro.
No, definitely. I'm here for Mozzie. I'm here for Tully, Tully, out of USC, Siaka out of Baylor, Jalen Carter. There's a few guys out there that I'm definitely looking at. There's a lot of linebackers in this draft too. I think Scout said who said they didn't like these linebackers. Was it Andy?
No, I think it was Sanjeet.
Okay, somebody said that they weren't really big on the linebackers. And I think Scout and Andy both came out. They both came out and said they loved the linebacker class. This is definitely, Patrick, the perfect draft for us because this is a heavy defensive draft. You know what I mean? Corners galore. There's some linebackers in there, some defensive tackles sprinkled, and even some surprising edge rushers in this draft as well. You know what I mean? So I can't wait to the draft, bro. I cannot wait to cover that. Patrick, we're definitely going to talk more about every level of the defense once free agency opens up and the draft. Shout out to Kara. Once again, appreciate you, family. Like Hendon Hooker, Josh will keep him in the pocket more than what he's used to. This is facts. This should limit future injuries. Hope we get him. Me too. I'm sold.
Yeah.
It was
look, if we're going to do this whole we don't get Rodgers thing and we're going to build a defense, hopefully we get Hendon Hooker, but I want Hendon Hooker in the right situation. It's not just about getting Hendon Hooker. Getting Hendon Hooker in the second round is supreme value for us.
Definitely.
Supreme value for us. Now, if you can get him in the second round and you can draft a starting corner, starting defensive tackle, start like a fucking huge piece in the first round, oh my God, then you've knocked this draft out of the park. Now it's shades of 2014.
In a perfect world, you guys, we go get a starter at each level of the defense in free agency and the draft at each level. That would change the dynamic of this defense. That means you go out and get a defensive tackle, whether it's Dalvin Tomlinson, and then bringing in Tully out of USC. Boom, 2 starters right there. You go to the linebacking core, whether you go get Zach Cunningham, which I don't know if, at this point, I don't know if he'd be a starter.
No, he wouldn't be a starter.
You know what I mean? He's coming off the IR, but let's just say we go get our guy out from Tampa Bay, right? We go get, who are we talking about? I just had a brain fart right now. Linebacker from Tampa.
Oh, Levante David,
right? So we get Levante David, and then you go get a Jack Campbell or a Drew Sanders, right? There's your middle linebacker of the future right there with Drew Sanders. I'm just saying, like, we can do this all night. You go get a corner. Say Jalen Ramsey gets cut. We pay him, and then you trade back in the first, and you get a Joey Porter Jr. or a Cam Smith or one of those guys. At the end of the day, man, there's so many moves that we can make. We just have to hit on both things, free agency and a draft. There's no room for error this offseason at all. I think you agree with me to the utmost on that, right?
I definitely agree with you on the utmost. And you know what else what needs to happen? By hook or crook, 2 things need to happen. And shout out to my dog Dennis Parasol Slow. I hope that I pronounced that right, my brother. We gotta get Chandler Jones to either take a fucking massive pay cut or retire. I mean, Jesus, I don't want to say JC.
No, the thing is this: we're going to restructure him, bro.
It better happen because to me, this is the reason why, and
that's mandatory. It's mandatory.
This is one of the reasons why. Getting back to originally when we say, okay, Josh McDaniels or David Ziegler, Ziegler gets no contrition from me. You signed one of the worst contracts. That's the worst contract all last offseason out of any team in the National Football Team. You did that, David Ziegler, and I don't have a problem. Like, I've been supporting this regime because I don't want us to be like the poster children for being a dumpster fire in the National Football League.
Agreed.
That's not what I want, bro. I want this to work out because I'm a fan of the Raiders. I'm not a guy who's into just being right. Like, I'm not a guy that's just in it. I like being right. It's cool. But if I'm fucking completely wrong and the Raiders are winning, I'm all right with that.
Yes.
I'm all right with that. I'm not into this whole, well, hey, look, hey, I told you guys. I think there's some people that are sitting up here, a lot of guys who you see running their mouth every week about Derek Carr. They want this team to be bad so that they can be, quote unquote, right.
Yeah.
So are you really a fan, bro?
Yeah. I will be wrong 110% of the time if it's equivalent to wins. I don't care at this point. Shout out to James, and I never have. What do you think if we got Tomlinson, Tranquil, Julian Love, which is our boy from Notre Dame?
Yes,
would
sir.
love to bring him in, Patrick Graham's guy, and Jamel Dean. And do you think we could get them for under 30? No.
That's too many players, man.
Yeah, Julian Love's going to command a nice chunk of change because of his versatility. Can play in the nickel, can play both spots at safety. Dalvin Tomlinson's going to get at least, I'm thinking maybe 10 to 12 million. I mean, shit, maybe even a little more than that because this defensive tackle position in free agency really, to me, isn't that deep. Drew Tranquil, I like Tranquil as well. I think that he's going to get cashed out, but he'll be a cheaper option. And Jamel Dean, man, that's you're looking at about $40 million right there, right?
Yeah, man, bro, you pretty much won't have much money to do anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's a lot of sexy names, pause if necessary, to bring into this team. Like that's a lot of those guys are versatile. Like, I would love to that. That's a nice list of guys to bring in. Definitely. Shout out to Dan, man. Wasted. This is another guy we got to keep talking about too. Wasted.
Elijah Cansey.
Yes, because
Look, I was watching film on him. I've been watching film on him, and then Scout put something on Instagram about him, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The thing I see from Elijah Cansey is he's the biggest boom or bust defensive tackle in his draft. He's a guy, if he can commit some pass rush moves and some technique to memory, athletically, he reminds me, he's not as polished, but he reminds me of the kid that came out of Alabama that's with the Patriots right now. I'm having an old man brain. Christian Barmore. He reminds me of that level talent.
This guy right here is, I think the total opposite. Yes, we disagreed on something. I think everything you said right now is bullshit. I think
Really?
he can get to the quarterback. He can play the run. I think he's only 6 foot, right? Very low to gravity. Kind of got that Aaron Donald effect. I know they both pick guys, so I don't want to say he's an Aaron Donald because he's definitely not. But I think that he has all the tools to get it done. I don't think he's a boom or bust product. I think that he's a boom product. I think that he can either be really, really great or really, really good.
You know what, Graphic? I agree with you too, man.
If you agree, I'm definitely wrong.
So that means the Wasted is probably fucking right if I agree with you, man.
But I mean, I think he's been the highest rated defensive tackle from PFF in the past few years, right? Like,
yeah, but I'm looking at the technique. I'm looking at how he's getting to the quarterback. He's getting to the quarterback with one move. You know what I mean? So it's I don't see what I see from Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald was a technician, and Aaron Donald was super, super strong in college. He's super strong now.
Let's reach out to Sanjeet. I want to get the all 22. I want to get the film on him because he did a video on him. I want us to watch that together because I'm not seeing what you're seeing, bro. Maybe I'm tweaking.
Yeah, we got to watch it together, bro.
If we get Hooker, are we planning on him being a day? No, not at all, AD. Shout out to my dog, AD, too. Millionaire Rising. If you guys are not following him on Instagram, this dude drops motivational quotes on a daily basis. And I haven't told AD this too much. I put a lot of them on my stories. Bro, you have definitely helped me change the trajectory of a lot of my days without you even knowing. So shout out to Millionaire Rising. I appreciate you, bro. He's not starting day one. He may not even be ready yet. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, at the age you would think he'd be ready, right? Probably be in the league already 3-4 years at 25, but he's not ready. He's going to sit for one season and then he'll be ready to go. So if you go get him, he's not starting at all.
But you know what though? If say for instance we started Stidham, right? He's below 500 starting. Say he starts 7 games, he's 3-4.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you'll see Hendon Hooker, and then that would be a good situation because he'll get some reps in the one season. Then you hit the ground running in the next season.
Yeah, I agree. I want Hooker though. If we get him to make sure he needs to be the starter the following season, unless
Bourbon is he is a Hendon Hooker Tennessee Volunteer hater. This man is a Kentucky man to his fucking soul. He loves Will Levis. Bourbon, I rebuke you and your hate for my guy Hendon Hooker. Bourbon, you've been hating on my guy and trying to shove the Will Levis thing.
No. Hey, that's my guy too. Hey, Bourbon.
No, you and Bourbon every time with these fucking Kentucky guys.
Hey, Bourbon, you're on to something. Hey, guess who the best center of all time is, man? DeMarcus Cousins.
Boo!
Where'd he come from? Kentucky. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Bourbon. And I know you're a Kentucky guy, man, right? So I don't want to, put this out there too early, but we're working on it right now. We talked to Boogie the other day. We talked to, his representation, man. We're working on getting him on the show. So stay tuned for that, Burb. I know you're going to like that. That's my guy.
Hendon Hooker's my guy, man. Look, man, everybody said I'm high. Listen, I am not high at all, but because I don't smoke. I can't, I get fired if I did. But the thing is this. I really like Hendon Hooker, man. I do. I like the speed. I like the way he throws the football. I like the touch deep. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
I like Hendon Hooker, man. Oh, come on. The Pause Olympics, bro. It's too late for that, bro. It's 11 p.m., bro. Not the Pause Olympics, bro. Come on, man. But shout out to my dog Bourbon, yo. Shout out to Bourbon.
Touch.
Oh.
Shout out to Bourbon, man. Shout out to Brady. Yes, bring Tomlinson back. I am all in on bringing back Tomlinson. Yeah, John, the touch is very deep, bro. I like to touch deep. Wasted. Yes.
Oh, fuck y'all, man.
Pause. Yo, Dennis, I agree. Hooker is the real deal. This is facts, bro. Shout out to AD, man. I appreciate the love, bro. Got to keep positivity in this crazy ass world. This is facts, King. Facts. Shout out to Bird. Being a Kentucky guy means I get to watch Tennessee every year. I love Jalen Hyatt, though. Yes, out of Tennessee.
We all do. We all do. Yeah.
4.31, 40, 67 receptions, 1,267 yards, 15 tutties.
I still rebuke you, Bourbon. Rebuke you.
Sorry, Docs, for your Kings now that KD is on his Suns. Hey, we're still the third seed for the time being, man. It's all good.
That's like being the tallest midget.
Hey, bro, look. Hey, 15, 16 seasons and not being in the playoffs, I will be the tallest midget. I will take that. I will definitely take that, bro. And pause again, just because you want to be all smart alecky and shit. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Lunatis, man. To be fair to Kentucky, they've had more players make it to the NFL in the last 20 years than Tennessee. Damn, is that true?
They probably have, yeah.
Damn.
Tennessee's been no fucking way. No.
Yeah, we gotta look that up, bro.
No way.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Did Rodgers say he's going back to Green Bay? No, he did not. He did not say that. Aaron Rodgers has not said a word at all. And the more and more he's quiet, the more and more I'm like, this isn't going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like
he's sitting. He you know what he's doing? He's sitting Indian style, dumping some shrooms in a cave.
Yeah, and dropping acid tablets in his eyeballs.
Yeah, man.
But John, he's not committed to Green Bay. I think Green Bay is running with love. I think they're ready to go young and move on. This would be the year for them to just, go young and go in another direction. I think that his days are numbered in Green Bay. I think it's either the Jets or us or retirement. Let me see. Shout out to, Will says, what's the plan at right tackle, you guys? At this point, we've been talking to Jermaine Illuminor to bring him back. I don't want him as a starter. I want him as a rotational guy. Me personally, I mean, he did have a pretty good season for us outside of boneheaded penalties, but we still got Mumford. Will, you know what I mean? I know a lot of people prefer him at right guard, you know what I'm saying? But we still got our 7th rounder out of Ohio State. And, we got some other guys coming back, that didn't play last year with us. The O-line, look, man, O-line we got some depth on that O-line. Like, I know we're going to get deeper, in the draft and in free agency. I paused my shit. You did not, sir. And you making that sound after a pause. See, bro, pause, bro. In this show, man.
Bro.
It's terrible, bro.
Man, this guy, you are flagrant, bro. You're terrible. Terrible, yo. Be your own peoples, yo. Be your own people.
It be your own people, man. It definitely be your people. But I forgot what the hell I was saying because all this pause-worthy shit that was going on. Right tackle. I mean, what do you think? Is there any options out there? Is there anybody you're looking at, or are you keeping it in-house, bro?
I'm looking at Dawad Jones, man. You know what I'm saying? That dude is an animal, bro. Like, yeah, I would love to see. Yeah, now and look, I'm looking at all the Tennessee Volunteers players that's been drafted over the last 20 years, bro.
Let me let my dog in real quick, bro. Go ahead, bust it down.
Yo, you got Jason Allen, Marvin Mitchell, Will Overstreet. It's been a lot of guys, man. I don't know. Darnell Wright, Travis Henry, Kevin Burnett, Adebayo Franklin, Dallas Thomas, Zach Fulton, Jamal Lewis, Michael Rivera, Dante Stallworth, Jason Witten, Eric Berry. It's been a lot of fucking people. Eric Berry, Felix Jones Jr., your boy, Matthew High Stakes Butler, Derek Barnett.
I think Tennessee got Kentucky.
Cade Mays.
Hey, Kentucky got Will Levis, the receiver that went to the Giants. What's my guy name? My guy, Speedster, 5, went to the Giants from Kentucky. I'm drawing a blank right now.
What from like last year? It wasn't Felix Jones Jr., right?
He's a rookie this year.
Felix Jones Jr.
No. That he's a Tennessee guy. I'm talking about Kentucky.
Oh, Kentucky. Man, I have no idea.
What is his name, man? We talked about him a lot in last year's draft, bro. Oh my God. That's gonna kill me now, bro.
All right, don't worry. Look, man. That's what they got Google for. Look, we're
Wandale Robinson.
Wandale Robinson. That was X's dude. That was X's dude. Yes. Now I remember Wandale Robinson. That was X's dude, man.
Levis and then Lynn Bowden Jr. That's all they got in Kentucky, pretty much. It's like real shit. Let me see. Orlando said Waste is getting old.
No, I definitely Waste is getting tired. That's what it is, man. I'm getting tired, man. It's late, man. So
yeah, we're about to wrap him up here in a second. Shout out to Pace, man. Paris Johnson is an animal, like Paris Johnson as well out of Ohio State. He's a dog. They had a nice O-line, man, protecting CJ Stroud this season, bro.
Yeah, they did, man. But you know what? I'm not taking an offensive tackle at 7, man. I can't do it. I'm sorry.
So what if we did? What's the plan after that?
Need to go super kick David Ziegler in his fucking face like Shawn Michaels. That'd be the plan for me.
With them big $300 red boots, them joints is out all over the place right now.
Oh man, I'll be around this bitch looking like Mega Man and shit. I kick him right with the boots.
Straight up. Shout out to everybody here in the building, man. We're over an hour right now, you guys. I know it's been kind of slow, you know what I mean, on the news, man, and you know, sometimes it's actually a good thing. You know what I mean? There's no controversy going on with our team outside of the quarterback position, which is a good thing. There's no off-field bullshit that we're hearing about or that's in the media. So it's a great thing, right? You know, sometimes silence is golden, man. So, you know, but we will be back soon. I know I'll probably end up doing a coffee and convo either tomorrow or the following day and kind of break down some more prospects from this draft. For those who are not following both channels, man, make sure you guys subscribe to both channels, the Oak Las Vegas Raiders Network and Raider Nation Unlimited Wasted Talents channel. We definitely appreciate you guys, all the comments, all the supers. On the way out, matter of fact, did I read? Okay, I read Pacings. O-line PFF rating is all wrong. I have eyes. We need to stop Chris Jones. That's facts, Dennis.
Yes, sir. Yes,
that is
sir.
Facts.
That's a fact. Chris Jones takes freaking the whole interior of our offensive line and makes it his bitch. Andre James has got to go. Andre James needs help almost any time you have a true threat up the middle, like that's a true nose guard. He gets abused.
Well, we'll save about $5 million too. I think we will move on from him.
Yeah, it's time. I think Andre James is serviceable, but you can't live with him being your center. You can't be all right with that. You got to go and try to seek better.
Yeah. Definitely. Shout out to Dennis for all the love tonight, man, brother. We appreciate you, man.
Bro.
And everybody else, John Corrigan, Bourbon, John Beck, Ride or Die Raiders. My brother Andy Kim is in the building. I see my boy in the gym today, Raidered out. I was on the phone with Wasted, so I didn't come chop it up with you. I was on the bike getting my cardio on. But shout out to my dog, Andy Kim, my California brother, living in Texas, man, as well. Shout out to my dog, bro. Jones or Darnell Wright, round 2, or do you take Siaki? I'm going defensive tackle, Andy. That's what I'm doing. I like Darnell Wright, another Tennessee guy, bro. Darnell Wright. DeJuan Jones as well. I love that. I love that prospect as well, but I'm going to get a defensive tackle. It's got to be Siaki or Kalijah. Like
I like Jones. I think he has a generational I think because of his wingspan, he probably has like the as far as God-given ability and measurables, it's generational. So then,
you know what? He has like the BAM measurables, but actually a game to him. You know what I'm saying?
So for me, he's the guy. I'm taking him, and I'm just turning around and saying, yo, for the next 15 years, you're the anchor. You got it.
I think he's going to be a first-round pick. I don't think he falls to the second. I don't. That's another.
But I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm more okay with taking him than Paris Johnson, and they're on the same team.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm more okay with that.
But I'm saying I like Kalijah a lot, and I like the DT out of Baylor too. And I feel like that's an important position, man. We need to get that. We need to get the trenches right on the defensive side of the ball.
See, Sakiaki is a stud. He is a stud.
Yeah,
he's a stud. I think that.
Shout out to Dane. Appreciate you, brother.
Bro, I think he is the next Haloti Ngata.
Okay. I like that. Talk that shit. Okay, Wasted. Put that shit into the universe. Shout out to Dame, and then shout out to one more. Yeah, Siaki is a stud, Baylor. This is facts. Appreciate you guys, man. I'm gonna let my big bro get some rest. I know he's tired of shit. He's been working all day. Salute to you guys, man. Tomorrow, I'm gonna try and come back. If there's some more to talk about, I definitely want to speak on some things. Nigga, AR, I have not seen my brother AR in a while. What up, gang? Just got some linebackers and turned that into a position of strength. Sick of it being a point of weakness year in and year out. I agree with you, my brother AR. Shout out to my dog AR in the building. You got anything to say on the way out, brother?
Nah, man, Joe, shout out to everybody who pulled up, man. This is a fucking thrill every time y'all pull up. I want to thank every single one of y'all, man, to support what we got going on. Yeah. And yo, man, peace and love. Thank you to everybody who helps keep the lights on here at Doc on Doc's channel, the Oak Las Vegas Raider Network, and at Raider Nation Unlimited, Wasted Talent. And yo, we got some special things coming, man. Tomorrow I'll be uploading the story on Planet Raiders. Planet Raiders right now, I don't have the whole site together totally. I'm going to put a story up, and I'll give you guys to Sunday. I'm going to have the site clicking and going, and I want you guys to all come over there and support that situation over there.
So what we're going to do, you guys, is we'll do like an unveiling. We'll do a special show. We'll connect the channels, and we'll actually unveil the website together as a whole. And if you guys can, man, one more time, go subscribe to Planet Raiders Network on YouTube as well. There's already 400 subscribers over there. We're trying to get them up to 1,000. We want to have a bunch of young guys and us as well, Scout, over there putting in a lot of videos and putting in work for Planet Raiders. PlanetRaiders.com will be available. It is up right now, but it's not done. It's pretty much a ghost website at this point.
Yeah, it's a shell site at this point.
A shell site. You know what I
mean? We've built the site. We have to populate the site with content.
Jerome, so I'm already on Planet Raiders. Y'all slacking.
I know, man. Yo, Jerome, we definitely are slacking on our Mackin', my brother.
Shout out to my brother Big Mike, a huge part of Planet Raiders. One of our key writers over there and family members. Shout out to you, man. I know you're healing up from that back surgery, my brother.
Yo, and when his back is all right, we got somebody else to lay the smack down. It's right, Big Mike.
There you go. With that being said, man, love y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. As always, we outro. One.